Last night I dreamed I was standing and I was looking through a glass window at a monitor that was playing a music video of Tegan and Sara, the Canadian musicians. And in this music video, Tegan and Sara were resting in a boat. It wasn't a terribly big boat. This boat that was floating in the middle of this beautiful lake. And there were a couple of friends in the boat with them. And for some reason, positioned in the center of this boat was a media rack. And the media rack was stacked with DVDs, CDs, and Blu-rays. And at one point, the director held for an unusually long time on a shot of this media rack, and I kind of leaned in and carefully scanned some of the titles in the rack, and I noticed one DVD case had a piece of white tape affixed to its spine, and written in black permanent marker was Josh Destructor videos from YouTube. And I was like, I was stunned, and I thought for a moment, wait a minute, did they download my videos and burn them to DVD? Are they fans? What videos do they like? And all this time I thought I was looking into a shop. I thought I was standing in front of a shop window, but just as I read my name on the spine of that DVD case, a security guard slammed his baton into my back, and he said, "Move it along." And I finally looked around, and I was standing in line in the mess hall of a maximum security prison. I had a tray in my hands. I was waiting to get food. And I was wearing these big metallic clunky boots that were magnetized to the floor. I mean, this must have been a pretty rough prison, worst of the worst. I have no idea what I did to get in here. I mean, in real life, I've never even gotten a parking ticket. I'm so boring. But anyways, yeah, there was the big metallic clunky magnetized boots like the ones Nicolas Cage had to wear in Face Off. They also looked a little bit like those boots that enabled the Mario Brothers to jump, you know, in that 1990s Super Mario Brothers movie. Dumb movie, but I have to admit, when I was a kid, I wanted a pair of those boots. But anyways, I get my food. I don't remember what they were serving that day in this prison. And now comes the scary part. I'm just surveying the mess hall here, trying to figure out where I'm going to sit down. Who am I going to sit down next to? I don't know anybody here. And I look around for a bit, and I notice there's one guy who's sitting alone. There's nobody. There are tables in this mess hall, and nobody's seated around this one dude. And I mean, this guy's huge. He's like, I'm guessing 6'7", 6'8", solid 400 pounds, stone bald. I look at him for a while and I think, okay, nobody wants to associate with him. Maybe he's not like the rest of the prison population. Maybe he just can't relate to any of them, and maybe that's the reason that nobody wants to associate with him. Either that, or he's worse than the rest of them, and he's so bad that he scares the living crap out of everybody else in this prison. But I figure I'm going to take my chances here. I mean, this is just, it's one personality that I might not mesh with here. So I walk up to his table. He's shoveling food in his mouth, and I introduce myself. "Hi, I'm Josh. How you doing?" And he looks up, and he's chewing his food, and he says, "Hi, my name's Bruno." And I say, "Well, Bruno, do you mind if I sit down and eat with you?" And he's like, "It's your life. Do what you're going to do." And he continues to eat. I sit down, and I explain this whole, I figure this is a decent icebreaker since it's such a weird situation. I explain this whole Tegan and Sara thing to him. And he says, "I love their tattoos. Here, look at mine." And he rolls up his sleeves and he's showing me the work he's had done on his forearms. And he has some decent ink. The only tattoo that still stands out in my mind is one of the, it was a Grim Reaper with a rainbow emanating from his belly button. I thought that was a little weird. And he asked me, he said, well, I mean, how come you don't have any tattoos, or do you? I don't see any on you. And I said, well, no, I don't have any tattoos, at least not yet. I mean, it's something I've thought about for a long time, but, you know, years ago, I used to cashier in a hardware store, and just to keep myself sane, I would draw pictures on my forearm, which is true. And they looked like permanent tattoos. They would fool customers. Customers would come up to my register and say, oh man, I like that tattoo. And I'd be like, oh, thanks a lot, dude. You know, and they just at the end of my shift just wash it off, and you know, the following day I'd draw something else. So I said, you know, I've always had artwork on me. It's just right now I'm a little depressed. I'm in a maximum security prison. I guess since I'm depressed and, you know, to keep my sanity, I'll start drawing on myself again here soon. And Bruno looked down into his mashed potatoes and he said, I wish I had any kind of talent. The only thing I've ever been good at's killing people. I almost choked on a carrot when he said that, and I thought, oh man, so much for him being a nice guy, so much for him possibly being innocent. And at that point I excused myself, said, Bruno, I'll be right back. And I walked over to one of the restrooms. I went inside, and it's just, already I'm thinking, man, I've got to get out of here as soon as possible. And I'm feeling the walls for their thickness. I'm already like trying to come up with my Shawshank Redemption deal here, you know, because I can't stay in this place too long. And I'm thinking, well, you know, tonight I guess, you know, I can try to work out some escape plan, and I guess I'll send Tegan and Sara a letter and try to get to the bottom of that whole matter. So, you know, I feel the walls for thickness, material, all that stuff. I eventually sit down beside my pal Bruno again, and Bruno takes a bite of his Salisbury steak. I don't know why I can remember what Bruno was eating, but I don't remember what was being served in that cafeteria line. But anyways, Bruno takes a bite of his Salisbury steak, and he looks at me and he's like, so where you sleeping tonight? Just like, thankfully I woke up at that moment because my cat had knocked over a couple of toys on my dresser drawer. Yes, I have toys in my bedroom, and I'm 30.